I was in other kind of life.
Get away! I could be at work, at school, in my car. I can still get shot by the police. I can get shot anywhere.
So it is what it is.
What's good, Shadow Realm? It's your boy Jenquavius Jackson, and y'all already know I'm demonetized and shadow banned in this bitch. So if you want to contribute, go to the Cash App, the PayPal, the GoFundMe, or join the Patreon. Also, don't forget to visit the merch store for all your favorite BGZM News 17 gear, including our exclusive Trump is a Blood t-shirt. Go fast before they sell out. They are already flying off the shelves, no cap. And remember, these super gremlins are on demon time.
Yo, what's good, BGZM News 17 family? I'm at the corner of Jesse Jackson and Marcus Garvey, and I got some bad news for you. As you can see, I lost my job. I'm out here living in cardboard boxes outside of boarded up vacant homes. YouTube said I'm done getting money out here in these streets. They even took my funky ass suit. So anything right now would help. So go ahead and hit that Cash App, hit that PayPal, hit that GoFundMe. Hell, cop the merch. Or if you want to make the long-term commitment to the Jenquavius Jackson Fund, join the Patreon so that I can continue to put out top-notch content each and every day. Also, check out the Rumble, where there is absolutely no censorship. Link in the description box below.
Hey, yo, ain't that nigga Jenquavius? Yo, I recognize.
No, that's not me no more.
Hey, yo, run your pocket.
Y'all killing me with this shit.
Do the opposite of Antonio Brown and take
What
all your
more
shit
do
off.
you want from me?
In the shooting of a McDonald's worker after an alleged argument over French fries. Police say two people are under arrest. 20-year-old Michael Morgan is charged with attempted murder. His 18-year-old girlfriend is accused of criminal possession of a weapon for hiding the gun. Sources say Morgan was FaceTiming with his mother on Monday while she was in a Bed-Stuy restaurant. She complained to the worker that her French fries were cold.
Wow. So y'all see what happened. Mama called her son husband to pull up to the McDonald's and air it out because her French fries was cold. And, you know, obviously we're going to hold this super gremlin accountable, but we got to hold these mothers accountable. That's why, this is exactly why we got to start locking some of these sisters up for raising these demon seeds. I can understand if she didn't have nothing to do with it, didn't know what he was doing. But she here on FaceTime instigating the whole situation. Baby, they ain't get my fries right, and they talking about this, and they talking about, like, come on. We all know it. We all seen it. Don't act like you have not seen it. Now, your son done threw his life away. You got a man killed. The girlfriend is arrested. Your son's girlfriend's arrested because she aided and abetted in, you know, tampering with the evidence. And now, who you got left with you?
We're told Morgan went to the restaurant and got into an argument with the worker that spilled outside. Morgan is accused of shooting the man in the neck. He remains in critical condition.
Wow.
New details: an attempted murder charge has now been filed against a 20-year-old man accused of shooting a McDonald's employee in Brooklyn after a dispute over cold French fries. Police say 23-year-old, the worker, got into an argument with Michael Morgan's mother at the restaurant in Bed-Stuy on Monday night. They say she called her son and he confronted the worker. Police say Morgan later saw the worker outside, took out a 9mm handgun from his girlfriend, 18-year-old Camelia Dunlop, and shot him. Wow. The worker now in critical condition. Dunlop charged.
So the girlfriend passed him the hammer.
Charged with criminal possession of a weapon.
And guys, I just want to make the point that this is very similar to the situation where that little super gremlin was fighting the black police officers in the subway, the woman was helping him commit these crimes. You have and this is why the women advocate so hard for the super gremlins, and they support these organizations that are frauds like BLM. It's because they are accomplices.
Police say a McDonald's employee was shot by the son of a customer who was served cold French fries.
This wasn't the first attack on a fast food employee this year, and some are concerned about workplace safety in the city. CBS 2's Alicia Reed live tonight in Bed-Stuy with more. Alicia.
Good evening, Maurice and Christine. The victim remains in critical condition here tonight, but while the suspect is in custody, there's still a lot of concern surrounding the safety of fast food employees. A Monday evening at work turned tragic for McDonald's employee Matthew Webb.
That something could happen like that over something so simple as food, like that's crazy.
I mean, but don't act like you ain't seen it before, sus. Like, why are we acting brand new in the community? Why are we acting brand new like this ain't every day? Simple disagreements lead to death. Okay? You got a man who was killed over some cold French fries. Now his body is freezing up. And they say he's in critical condition. I don't know if he's dead or not, but honestly, I think that he is. But this is insane. And they always doing this stuff at the McDonald's. Continue to mess up the business. And then y'all get mad if McDonald's had a super gremlin ban or even had a dress code. Sheesh.
Sources tell CBS 2 a female customer complaining about cold fries was FaceTiming with her son during the disagreement. Witnesses say within minutes, the 20-year-old showed up to the Bed-Stuy restaurant and got into a verbal altercation with the 23-year-old employee. The argument spilled outside, and that's when Webb was shot in the neck.
Damn.
Cold French fries should not result in a shooting. At the end of the day, it's gun violence all over this country, particularly in this city, that has to be brought under control. And fast food restaurants are not the safe havens they used to be.
Who's doing the gun violence? That's what needs to be brought under control. It's not the guns. It's the super gremlins on Demon Time.
Attorney Sanford Rubenstein represents the family of Crystal Nieves. The 19-year-old was killed in January while working the overnight shift at an East Harlem Burger King. The suspect, who was later arrested, allegedly demanded money, then shot and killed her.
Yeah, and we did that story, tragic story, and very sad. This one is just stupidity. But I mean, that one was at the Burger King as well, but you know, it's getting bad, y'all. I mean, it's been bad, but it's getting even worse.
Her family is not doing well. It's a tragedy they will never get over.
There have been other attacks against fast food workers this year. In March, an East Harlem McDonald's employee was stabbed multiple times with a box cutter while trying to break up a fight. And in July, 3 women violently attacked Bell Fries workers with glass bottles when told extra dipping sauce would cost them less than $2. Fast food and other establishments.
And I ain't gonna lie, that dipping sauce was taxed. I mean, $175. That's a can of Coke. For dipping sauce, it's gonna come in a small ramekin. And then 3 for $4.25. Look, they're taxing. They're definitely taxing.
Fast food employees in other establishments have been on edge.
That's why I don't want to work at night. I told my boss, if you want to pay me like $100 per hour, I'm not gonna work because it's crazy.
Sources say the suspect in this case has at least a dozen prior arrests, and charges are currently pending. His mother will not be facing any charges. Live from Brookdale.
What? See, that's that BS. Lock Ma Dukes up too, because she agitated the situation.
Hospital. Alicia Reed, CBS 2 News.
Alicia, thanks.
Another case of gun insanity in New York City. This time, a 23-year-old McDonald's worker in Brooklyn shot after an argument with a customer.
Police say he was shot near the restaurant in Bed-Stuy. Eyewitness News reporter Kimberly Richardson is live at Brookdale Hospital where that victim was taken. Kim.
Well, Liz, that 23-year-old young man, he is in grave condition here at the hospital. Relatives breaking down outside after getting that news. One man told me he was going to pray as police try and sort out.
He's gonna pray. How long do y'all think these grandmas have been praying for the community? Just take a guess. 100, 110, 150 years, 400 years.
How things got so bad so fast.
I left at like 5 o'clock and it was so quiet.
A much different situation. Roughly 2 hours later, a heated argument inside this McDonald's in Bed-Stuy, gunfire outside. Now, one worker from the fast food restaurant on Fulton Street is here at Brookdale Hospital in critical condition. The violence, police say, unfolded after a customer, a 40-year-old woman, got upset because her food was cold.
With all the things we have to worry about now, they're fighting about French fries.
What does she mean by there? Run it back.
Got upset because her food was cold.
With all the things we have to worry about now, they're fighting about French fries.
When the customer started complaining around 7 Monday night, that 23-year-old employee, a man, was behind the counter.
I don't know. That sounded like a microaggression when she said there. Ugh. Just hit me. It was a hard R on the there.
The woman was FaceTiming with her 20-year-old son. He saw what was happening and came to the restaurant. Things escalated between the two men and spilled outside. Once here across the street, police say the customer's son pulled out a gun and shot the victim, striking him in the neck.
Over small, petty things, that's really sad. You know, vigilante justice over something so small.
She called that vigilante justice? Is that what you think justice is?
I don't agree with that.
The victim's family and friends gathered at the hospital, but were too upset to talk.
And everything is, I'm going to shoot you, I'm going to stab you, I'm going to kill you. No more talking.
And police did arrest that customer and her son. At this hour, they have not yet been charged.
McDonald's employee in Brooklyn over the fight over cold French fries has just been charged with a murder from nearly 2 years ago.
Wow. So he was charged with a murder from 2 years ago. These super sagging gremlins are on demon time.
Cops say that while Michael Morgan was being questioned about Monday's shooting at McDonald's, he made comments, they say, that incriminated himself in an unsolved murder.
Wow. He should have just kept his mouth shut.
Monday, you'll recall, cops say Morgan shot a fast food worker near the restaurant. That employee, now in critical condition still. The deadly shooting 2 years ago, just 6 blocks from this week's shooting.
I'm here on the corner of MLK and Medgar Evers, and it's a very tranquil scene compared to just a couple hours ago where a drive-by shooting
just took place. Excuse me. I'm getting live updates as we speak. I've just been updated to the amount of casualties from this drive-by shooting, and I'm getting reports that 2 people were actually declared deceased and 27 others were shot and injured but are in stable condition. And although we must pray for the families of the fallen, we must also praise God for the aim of the super gremlin. If you want to know more about the victims of this crime, make sure you add BGZM News 17 on Patreon at www.patreon.com/blackgenzmindset. Also, don't forget to like the video, share the video, subscribe to the YouTube channel, and comment on the video to continue the discussion on how we can find solutions to all this gun violence in the streets. For more hard-hitting news coverage from the community, by the community, I'm Jenquavius Jackson, here live, reporting from Atlanta, Georgia, BGZM News 17.
And cut.
All right, dog. Let's get the out of here for these niggas come back.
Whoa. Yo. Ain't that nigga J?
Nah, that ain't me. That ain't me.
He just went live
That
with
ain't
that
me.
funky ass suit on. That nigga.
That's not me.
Hey, get that nigga.
Jenquavius Jackson, here live, reporting from Atlanta, Georgia. Pray for me. All right, guys. So we're going to get two mothers' perspectives on this shooting. The mother of the McDonald's worker who was shot over the cold French fries. We're going to read an article about her. Then we're going to read an article about the suspect who already had a prior murder charge. And y'all best believe that mama knew that he was a killer. Okay. And that's exactly why she called him. All right. Because she felt disrespected. Okay. So let's get into this article. The mother of the McDonald's worker who was shot in the neck in a dispute over cold French fries told the Post Wednesday she hasn't been able to get any rest as her young son battles to stay alive. I'm really not ready for this, the mom, who didn't share her name, said at Brooklyn's Brookdale Hospital, where her son Matthew Jeremiah Webb has been in critical condition since the shooting Monday evening. I'm just going back and forth with so many flashes in my mind. My mind is not stable. Webb's mother said she thinks she needs more stronger family around me as she prays for her son, 23, and waits for updates. At the hospital Wednesday morning, the distraught mom asked a pastor to pray with her son in the hospital room. I barely get any rest. I'm so tired. I need to call somebody, said the mom. She declined to update the Post on the condition of her son, but police said he remained in critical condition as of Wednesday morning. Webb was working in the McDonald's at 1531 Fulton Street in Bed-Stuy Monday when he was allegedly shot by Michael Morgan, 20, around 7 p.m. on the sidewalk outside the chain. And I can guarantee that Michael Morgan has more than just two bodies, okay? Here are images of, I guess, people that knew him, very upset, relatives and friends of Matthew Webb. Morgan, 20, was charged late Tuesday with attempted murder and criminal possession of a weapon, authorities said. Camelia Dunlap, 18, Morgan's girlfriend, was charged with 2 counts of criminal possession of a weapon after she admitted to cops she handed her boo the gun, law enforcement sources said. And I guarantee she used that term as well. The alleged shooter came to the McDonald's after his mother, Lisa Fulmore, got in a tiff with Webb after she was served cold fries. Okay. Fulmore began hassling workers over the fries, and when they laughed at her for asking to speak to a manager, her son stormed into the restaurant. In the mother's defense, she told the Post in an exclusive interview. At some point, Webb went outside of the restaurant and was then allegedly shot by Morgan. Let's see. My son is just saying that he got to do what he got to do. And the victim came after him, and whatever happened, happened. And that is your lovely mother right there. Law enforcement sources noted the victim had no prior arrests, and there is no indication he was carrying a weapon when he was shot. Morgan has been previously arrested several times, including for grand larceny in 2019, and assault and theft of service in 2018, not to mention the murder that he just pretty much incriminated himself on. So let's get into what Ma Dukes really said about her sons and them. Mom of man in custody for McDonald's cold fry shooting details what led to incident, reveals son's chilling words.
And she's obviously in defense of her son and her son husband. The mom of the man held in the shooting of a Brooklyn McDonald's worker over cold French fries told the Post on Tuesday that her son said afterwards he did what he had to do. So when y'all watch my intro and that guy at the end says it is what it is, like that's really how they feel about it. They don't care. Lisa Fulmore, 40, revealed her 20-year-old son's chilling comments while describing exactly what led up to Monday night's shooting that left a 23-year-old fast food employee clinging to life. I talked to my son with the cops. My son is just saying that he got to do what he got to do, and the victim came after him, and whatever happened, happened, she said. The mom of 3 boys said the incident unfolded after she ordered McDonald's. Oh, God, she has 2 other boys? Oh, wow. Well, safe to say that they are not going to be able to get over this, especially with their big brother being in prison or whatever brother. I don't know if he's the oldest or the youngest, but it doesn't look good for them the way that older bro ended up turning out. The mom of 3 boys said the incident unfolded after she ordered McDonald's on her mobile app and went to the Bedford-Stuyvesant eatery around 7 p.m. to pick up her food, which included fries. The fries were cold, Fulmore said. I asked the girl to change the French fries because the fries was cold. She went to the French fry machine for maybe 10 seconds and brought back fries. So I thought they were new fries, so I had left. So I tasted the fries, and after I got to the third one, it was a cold fry still. So I went back to take the food back. I asked her, why would she give me the same fries and just put 1 or 2 on top to make me think you gave me new fries? She started laughing, and all of them started laughing, acting like it's funny. Okay, so she was embarrassed. She was hurt. I was like, what's funny? I paid for food, and I should get what I asked for. They laughed at me. This is what I will say. Very poor customer service. It's not a death sentence, but when you're dealing with black people, you laugh in their face and embarrass them. And I mean, in high school, you'll just get beat up, or you'll have to fight. You'll have to run the fade. In real life, they coming back and spinning the block. Okay. One of them was like, all of this over fries. So now I'm arguing with them back and forth. The boy where they cook the food at was like, you got all this food in your teeth, Fulmore recalled. Wow, referring to the worker who was later shot. So I say, you want to take it out? You're saying I got all this food in my teeth. You want to take it out? What type of mother speaks like this? Fulmore said she asked to speak to their boss, and the worker said the manager has stepped out. Everybody started laughing again, she said. This is when I was on the phone with my son. I was like, they in this McDonald's playing with me. I was like, I got kids their age. I'm not going to sit here and keep arguing with these little kids. He was like, I'm coming down the block. Woo! I was like, all right. Then I told him, no, don't come to McDonald's because I don't want you to get in trouble, the mom said. So this kind of shows me that she already knew he was a killer, but her son was already at the restaurant. Dang, that man is fast. That man ran a 4 flat to catch this body. He was like, I'm coming in. So he came in. He heard them saying stuff to me. So he was like, you all got to back off my mother. My son came outside to the boy in the back, she said, referring to the worker who was later shot. The employee didn't exit the restaurant at that point, and Fulmore said she then told her son to just leave because I don't want him to get in trouble. So I'm thinking my son was gone, she said. I'm thinking it was over because my son left the store. Then 10 or 15 more minutes later, the male worker came over to Fulmore asking, where your son at? The mom said. Oh, wow. So it looks like he was, wow. It looks like he was ready to buck. She said she told him her son had left and to mind his own business. But he went looking for my son, she said. The next thing you know, maybe like 15 minutes later, you hear a gunshot. So I ran to the door. I said, who's shooting? She said, someone replied, your son. Lord have mercy. She knew who was shooting. I looked and I seen a boy on the ground, and then I saw my son running the other way. I called 911. Then I sat there and waited. Damn, so mama called 911 on her own son. When asking if her son had a gun, the mom says she don't know, adding, I don't even know if my son did that, referring to the shooting. The only thing I know is that my son was arguing with that boy, and that boy did go out looking for my son. She needs to stop talking right now. Okay, stop talking right now. She said the victim changed his shirt at one point, and he has something under the blue shirt. That's why he put the blue shirt on. Law enforcement sources said the victim had no prior arrests, and there was no indication he was carrying a weapon when he was gunned down. But Fulmore, referring to the victim, said there was no reason for him to go outside looking for somebody. Wow, what a lovely woman. Whatever happened outside, you caused that to happen. Wow, no accountability for her son. She's blaming the victim. This is what we do in the community. We victim blame. Fulmore's son is in police custody, but has not been charged in the shooting. He has been previously arrested several times, including for grand larceny in 2019 and assault and theft of service in 2018. This is a bad guy. Police sources said he also has numerous sealed arrest cases. Those are juvie cases, they said. So mama has been raising this super gremlin on demon time.
Gang violence and other kind of violence.
Guess what? I could be at work, at school, in my car, and I could still get shot by the police. But I could get shot anyway.
So it is what it is.
What's good, Shadow Realm? It's a Black Gen Z mindset. Make sure you go ahead and like, comment, share, subscribe, and let's get into the video. All right, guys. So we got to talk about this Nardo Wick situation. And if you are not familiar with Nardo Wick, he is a rapper, and he's known for a song that went viral on TikTok rather. And he's from Jacksonville. Okay. He's known for a song called Who Wants Smoke. He had a lot of other mainstream street drill rappers hop on the song, like 21 Savage, G Herbo, Lil Durk. All of these names you may not be familiar with, but if you're from the community, you know what I'm talking about. So I'll just kind of give you an idea of who Nardo Wick is. And then we will react to what happened and pretty much like how shitty of, you know, it pretty much comes down to this. The people that we are making celebrities are just shitty individuals. That's what it really comes down to. So let's talk about this. All right. Appalling moment, rapper Nardo Wick's entourage beats young Tampa fan George Obregon Jr., who asked for a photo, leaving him in critical condition with a brain bleed. Now, this guy, George Obregon, we're going to break him down as well. He comes from a really good family. People who care about him, people who love him. He was Nardo Wick's #1 fan, all right? And this is a white guy. And obviously, he has fully engulfed himself in the hip hop culture. Now he's kind of starting to see, you know, the ramifications of that, what comes with that. You know, we've seen other people get injured at these concerts. At the Travis Scott concert, you've seen it happen. We've seen concerts get shot up, all right, in Florida. I've done stories on that. I mean, we see it all the time, especially surrounding hip hop. So hip hop's main consumer, which are, you know, pretty much young white kids. And I'm not saying those are the main people who listen to it, but those are the people who are streaming heavily and buying the physical CDs. These people, and going to the concerts, these are the people who put money in this guy's pocket. But Nardo Wick, he has no business sense. He has no business acumen. he doesn't understand that. He doesn't know that, you know, the people that he has around him don't understand what's the bread and butter of the way that he's able to continue to make money. So here we go. An appalling video shows the moment several men and rapper Nardo Wick's entourage beat up a young fan after he asked for a photo. George Obregon Jr., 20, was left hospitalized in critical condition with a severe concussion and brain bleed after he was brutally assaulted by the 21-year-old rapper's companion, according to his family. Police said the fan approached Wick, real name Horace Walls the third at about 1:15. Is sucker punched by one of the men, causing him to hit a brick wall. As Obregon appears too shocked or hurt to move, another member of Wick's entourage punches him again several times as Wick tells the man to chill. So I mean, guys, these are stills of the video, and we'll show the video. I have nothing to lose at this point. We did get an early donation up in here. All right. Shout out to Christy Webster with the $50 Cash App. That is greatly appreciated. I don't know if you wanted me to say your whole name, but
Hold on. Hello? Where we at? Oh, you want to know where I'm at? We outside!
Miss Webster is definitely outside with it. She knows what's going on. She has got her finger on the pulse, an ear to the streets, especially listening to my channel. So, as you guys can see, this is George. All right, George Obregon. All right. I mean, seems like a regular kid. This is what they did to him. Put him in the hospital. This is Nardo Wick. All right. As you can see, the typical street rapper. Chains. The bracelets are, as you can see, iced out. And they put a beating on this young man. So we're going to watch the video. All right. But I want to let you know that guys, this is a very graphic video. If you're squeamish, if you don't have strong stomach, I advise you not to watch or skip this part. But they completely violated this fan. And this is just another one of those cross-racial incidents that didn't need to happen. All right. And you have a guy who is a fan, a guy who loves Nardo Wick, right? He's listening to that boom, 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 boom. You know, that's how I step on it. Matter of fact, let me read you guys some of his lyrics from the song that made him famous. All right. We'll read some of his lyrics. And the song is Who Wants Smoke? And as you guys know, smoke means pretty much who wants to get shot, who wants to get killed. Okay. The song was very popular on TikTok. People were reacting to it and whatnot. So the verse goes, who wants smoke with me, like 7 times. And then he says, nigga, who wants smoke with me? And then he says, who wants smoke with me? I'm trying to fuck a nigga's lungs up. They be like, Nardo, put them damn guns up. He says, fuck that. Say, big brother, bring them guns out. When it's smoke, we get to spinning while the sun's out. So what he's talking about is everything that I talk about on my channel, okay? He gets to spinning when the sun's out. What does that mean? What does that mean to you? Okay? And it's crazy how young fans are being fooled that these guys are like good guys or cool guys or, you know, to hang with or cool guys to aspire to be. These guys are not good guys. Now, here's the thing. When you see the video, well, we'll talk about that later, but he says, when it's smoke, we get to spinning with the sun's out. Now, what do you guys think that means? It means that they're committing these crimes, shooting other black men. Let's keep it a buck, because that's all they talking about, shooting other black men in the daylight. In the daylight. He says, I ain't never lacking. I pump gas with my gun out. Now, that is something that I do agree with. I've spoken about how dangerous these gas stations are. So you should at least have, you know, open concealed carry, depending on your state laws, at the gas station. So, you know, we can respect that line. Scream out what's happening, then get to bussing till I run out. All these niggas hiding. I'm like, where they at? It ain't no fun now. 7.62s, they big as hell, knock a nigga's lungs out. So he's obviously obsessed with knocking a nigga's lungs out. What does that mean? It means shooting you in the chest, shooting you in your chest cavity, right? Filling your lungs up with smoke. Hence the song name, Who Wants Smoke? So this is what young Nardo is speaking about. And this is the part that went viral on Twitter. 1, 2, 3, 4. Kick your door, get on the floor. So he's talking about breaking an entry. 5, 6, 7, 8. Don't make no noise. I'll eat your face. And what he means by eat your face is, you know, essentially mangle you with bullets. All right. 9, 10, 11. We ain't gonna say that number. We don't fuck with Jakes. I'ma kill 14 niggas if 13 bitch niggas play. Okay? And then he says, I think my Draco might be gay. Why? Because he blowing niggas. That's a pause moment. I just got a brand new lolly. That's a 4 nickel. Call me Nardo. Yes, man. I don't know niggas. You could send your best man. You gonna lose your best hitter. All right. And it goes on and on. And I mean, it gives you a sense of the type of guy that he is. Now, I can't play the music because he's copyright. You know, if he was some local rapper, I wouldn't, you know, wouldn't be worried about it. But he's got a major deal. So, you know, they have that music on raps. But we can play this video. And this video is telling of the kind of guy he is and then the kind of guy his entourage is. Now, although he was rapping all that shoot 'em up, you know, bang, bang shit, I don't believe him. All right. I think Nardo Wick is essentially a poser. I think he's a faker. You know, has he ran into somebody's house before? Maybe when he was a kid. Right? Maybe ran into someone's abandoned house and nobody was there. And, you know, he thought he was doing shit because he kicked the door in. I don't believe that he was really in the streets like that. By his posture, by the way he carries himself, you know, by his demeanor. I've seen him in interviews. I just don't believe it. You know, now I'm not saying he didn't grow up in the hood. I believe he grew up in the hood, but I don't think he was like really doing shit like shooting niggas and hitting licks like that. All right. Now, did he run on somebody's house unsuspecting before? Maybe. I'm not saying that he hasn't, but I'm just not sold on it. And then this video kind of backs up what I'm saying. Now, in this video, you are going to see people around Nardo, his entourage, and they're essentially having a conversation, whatever. And Nardo's number one fan, his number one fan, George Obregon, comes up and is looking to get a selfie. Let's watch.
What are you?
So as you guys can see, I had to stop it right there. But let's run it back really quickly. So as you guys can see, there is a guy. Well, let me find a better video because this one, I don't know why they keep stopping it. So let me go to this video. It's a little better for the beginning, but then there's like 21 or it'll be like 11 more seconds at the end. Give me 1 second. All right, got it. All right, so here's the video. It's way more clear. So you see this guy running up. This is part of Nardo's entourage. These guys are part of Nardo's entourage as well. Now, what they're claiming is this is security. This is security. No, this is not securities. These are just the homies. Okay, they're rolling with him and they're trying to act hard. They're trying to act like they'll crash out for Nardo. All right. So as you can see, here's the fan. Here's the white boy fan. Here's Entourage 1. Then you have Entourage 2 running up. And he has what appears to be a Pooh Shiesty mask, Pooh Shiesty mask, Pooh Shiesty mask. All right. Boom. So they sucker punch the fan. Look how they do this. I mean, it's absolutely ridiculous. Sucker punched him. These guys are cowards, man. So just watching the slow motion, boom, he's turned all the way around. Security, or not security, entourage here, entourage there. And you have Nardo Wick back here, all right? Now watch. Let's keep watching. So he's knocked out right here, leaning against the wall. He's unconscious. And then you have this idiot who tees off on him, swings on him for no reason. Wow. And then you can kind of see Nardo trying to stop it. That's why we got to play the longer version. Because apparently he tried to stop it, but by then it was too late. But this is how a lot of niggas are moving nowadays. So you saw it. So it looks like Nardo was trying to stop him and pull him off, but by then the damage is done. The damage is done. And what does this mean? I'm trying to let you guys know that this guy is no good. This guy Nardo Wick is no good, because here's the thing: a lot of people are like, man, Nardo ain't really want that to go down, da 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 da. And then he put out a note statement on Instagram. But the reality is he did want that to go down, because that's the type of company he keeps. He wants people around him that are maniacally violent. Okay. There's no rhyme or reason to their methods or their judgment is impaired, but he wants these people around him. Why? So he can seem hard. So this is his fault, and he should take 100% full accountability. And that was his mans who did that. Okay. So this is his statement. I don't condone what happened to my fan, George. And this was not only just your fan. This is a #1 fan. This is a #1 fan. A guy who went the full lengths to get one-on-one with you. And when he almost gets face-to-face with you, you repay him by knocking him unconscious and then continuing to beat him until he falls on the ground. Now, I've told you guys about the overkill of these super gremlins on Demon Time. Okay? It's overkill. They'll knock you out, then they'll keep stomping on your head and kicking you and beating you, and they're trying to kill you. Okay? Same situation we saw with the young man who was killed in Las Vegas, the high school kid. I think his name John Lewis. Okay? But here's what Nardo has to say. I don't condone what happened to my fan, George, after my show in any type of way. I expressed to him and his mama how sorry and concerned I was that it happened to him multiple times before anything was even posted or on the internet. I sent his mama my number instantly the night it happened. I was even going to make a post to try to find out who he was before his mama texted me. I can't control another grown man's action. I can't control another grown. So you can't control the people who you're around. He doesn't want to take accountability for this. But guess what you can do now, Nardo? You can give this family some justice. So you can say, hey, this is my friend. He assaulted, he assaulted this man, George Obregon. And hopefully, George is able to get through this. But this is my guy. Here, police, this is his name. You can have him. That's what you could do. But he's not going to do that. He goes on to say, I can't control another grown man's actions. I ain't know that was going to happen. And I was mad when it happened. I tried to stop it, as you can see in the video. And if somebody got the longer video, you can see how mad I was. I love and appreciate all my fans and don't condone in what happened at all. That shit ain't gangsta or cool in no type of way. So he says it's not gangsta or cool in no type of way. But isn't it? Isn't that what you are talking about in your music? Isn't that how you, as you so eloquently stated in Who Wants Smoke, this how I step on niggas? Okay? Although this time it wasn't just a nigga. So now you know you in trouble. Now you know you in trouble. Because this family is about to sue. And I hope they sue the living daylights out of you. All right? Because this is something that deserves a lawsuit. I know we got a lot of people suing for random reasons and unsubstantiated claims. This one right here, real. You got video footage. You got everything you need to make a case. All you need to do, Nardo, is, you've already admitted to it. At this point, you're toast when it comes to civilly. Now, you could also do the right thing. You could also do the right thing and give your mans up. Who's the guy who did this? So let's kind of read the comments. Your bodyguards almost killed a dude, and all you say is damn, oops. It says, unlike other celebrities, I feel like you actually wrote this instead of your PR team. For that, I respect. So as you can see, people are still siding with him. Then reveal the animals who did this and explain why you rolled out after it happened. Right. Reveal the people who did this. All right. But he won't do that. He won't do that. How can one post bring out all the white people is what this guy says. Pay the kids legal fees and send your homeboys to jail. Yep. That's pretty much it. And medical fees. All right. Notes apps means he's serious. Then publicly denounce the guys who did it and get them out your freaking entourage. How you going to let any of your boys disrespect your fans like that? It is what it is. This is further than disrespect. This was attempted murder. Yeah. This ain't just, how you going to let them disrespect? No, this is attempted murder. This is far from just, saving face from the disrespect, yo. No. This is far from that, man. We're past that. We're past that. And out of all the rock concerts that I've seen, all the mosh pits that I've been a part of, I've never whatever. And you know how mosh pits go. You're throwing bows, you're throwing hands, you're throwing fists, you're throwing feet, you're throwing whatever. I've never seen anybody this seriously injured except at a rap concert. Even in the most raviest moshes with all the freaking goth kids and the kids who want to kill themselves and the kids who want to slice their arms open and their thighs and shit. I've been in mosh pits like that, and everybody's swinging and gyrating and throwing every part of their body, and I've never seen somebody get knocked out or seriously injured in that way other than at a rap concert. Whether it's being shot or being punched in the face and KO'd, and then people wanting to stomp on your face while you're down, people wanting to punch you while you're down. I mean, look at this kid. Does he look like a threat? Does he look like a threat? No. And they knew he wasn't a threat. That's the thing. See, this is what a lot of people don't understand. When you see these incidents like that, these super gremlins know what they're doing. They knew that guy was not a threat. And here's the thing. A lot of these guys are jealous of Nardo. Okay? And his success and his fame and his money and his fortune, right? A lot of these guys are jealous of Nardo. So when they see people coming and wanting to celebrate him, it angers them. So what they do is they want to sabotage that interaction. Man, this lame ass nigga meat riding. That's what they really, you know, that's what they mean in their heart. But what comes out is straight violence. Man, this dick riding ass white boy, boom, and they just knock him out. Like, it's an instant reaction, and it's very unfortunate. All right, it's very unfortunate. So we're gonna get to how the family is reacting to this. We're gonna break down how the family is reacting to this. Man, they're in a very tough position right now, and I feel for the family. As you guys can see, I personally, I would say refrain from going to any rap concerts. I would say that right now, and I would stand on that. Refrain from going to rap concerts. Refrain from large gatherings with these super gremlins. But as you can see, the mother has posted. She says, I want everybody to know, or I want everybody to see these motherfuckers did what these motherfuckers did to my son. At no point was my son aggressive. At no fucking point did he show any sign of harm. My son wanted a stupid fucking picture with his favorite artist, and this is what he gets. I am sick to my stomach to think about how this could have turned out. Please help me share this. Please, as a mother, I am begging you to help get justice for George Obregon Jr. Anyone who knows my son knows he is the sweetest and gentlest kid. No drugs, no alcohol, no gangs, no nothing. I am dying here. My fucking heart is hurting so bad. I am sick to my stomach. I can't stay quiet. So, as you guys can see, studied at North Greenville University, went to Wesley Chapel High School in Florida, you know, has a wide array of friends. Okay, as you can see, him embracing the Hispanic community. Played soccer, went to prom, went to parties just like anybody else. As you can see, seemed like a regular kid. Seemed like a regular kid. As you can see, big into the soccer. And they just knocked him out. No questions. No, oh man, what's your favorite song? Right? What's your favorite song? None of that. Just pure violence. Now, if he would have been watching my channel, we could have prevented this mess. I would have told him, don't even go to the concert. I don't give a fuck how much you like Nardo Wick. Guy's a clown. Guy's a clown. All these fucking rappers are. So I don't care how much you like this guy. Don't go. Just don't. But as you can see, he fell in love with hip hop. And this is how it turned out for him. He says, this is what happens when you go watch one of your favorite artists and their bodyguard takes it to another level over a selfie. You end up in the hospital with a concussion and bleeding in the brain. So this could affect his livelihood, the way that he moves, his motor skills, functionality for the rest of his life. This guy's life is totally altered. And Nardo, he there's no accountability. Y'all saw that lame ass statement that he gave. There's no accountability. Okay? And he got rocked. He got rocked. But he was trying to be a part of the culture. He was trying to fit in. But you have to understand, guys, you cannot fit in under any circumstances with these super gremlins on demon time. And I keep trying to implement this in your heads, guys, because I want you to be safe, honestly. It's bigger than just, oh, man, hip-hop is a foundation in the black community. You talk about hip-hop, it's bigger than that, bruh. Okay? Because these guys are leading the criminal revolution. That's just the reality. These guys are inspiring your next mass shooter. And that's the facts. They talk about, I'm inciting violence. Genquavius? Never that. I condemn it at all levels. At all levels. In all facets. But as you guys can see, the social media oligarchs that be do not think that a message of safety and avoidance is one that is permissible on their platforms. And that is why I'm shadow banned, guys. That's why you need to support the channel. That's why you got to hit the PayPal, the Cash App, cop the merch. We are going to go into a brief intermission. We're going to talk a little bit more about Nardo Wick, and then we're going to go ahead and move on to the next story. What's good, Shadow Realm? It's your boy, Genquavius Jackson, and y'all already know I'm demonetized and shadow banned in this bitch. So if you want to contribute, go to the Cash App, the PayPal, the GoFundMe, or join the Patreon. Also, don't forget to visit the merch store for all your favorite BGZM News 17 gear, including our exclusive Trump is a Blood t-shirt. Go fast before they sell out. They are already flying off the shelves, no cap. And remember, these super gremlins are on demon time. All right, so I mean, I'm just going to tell you right now, these guys are evil. Evil. And a lot of these kids, they don't want to believe it. They want to believe that, oh, well, you know, my favorite rappers is, I'm telling you right now, these guys are evil. And they don't care, but they really don't care about their fans. They really don't. Okay? They genuinely do not care about their fans, but they have to say it. They have to say it because it's politically correct. And they don't want to lose their money. They don't want to lose that revenue. They don't want to lose those people who show up to their shows, which are most of the time white kids, young white kids, okay? That's just the reality. That is just the reality. And if these young white kids stop supporting the hip hop industry, it would die overnight because black people are just not spending their money in the industry like that. They're not really going to concerts like that. Now they'll go to the club where the guy is performing and pay the $20 fee at the door. And yeah, you know, some of that goes to the artist, some of that goes to the club. But let's keep it a buck. These festivals, these concerts, these are white people who are buying and participating in these events. So let's see what the news has to say about Mr. Nardo Wick here. And then we will move on to the next story.
And, you know, and it's just not right. It's not right.
The mother of a 20-year-old Pasco County man seeking justice after he's beaten outside of a concert venue in Ybor City.
Video of the incident is disturbing. It shows the victim being punched and left unconscious. His mom says he was just trying to get a photo with the rapper. It happened early Monday morning outside of Club Sky. That's on East 8th Avenue in Ybor City. That's where News Channel 8's Annie Mapp joins us live.
I spoke to witnesses and family members of 20-year-old George Obregon Jr. who say they went up to rapper Nardo Wick after he performed here at Club Sky. But as you're about to see, that encounter quickly turned for the worse in this alley. I want to warn you, the video I'm about to show you is graphic. Witnesses tell me 20-year-old George Obregon Jr. was walking over to rapper Nardo Wick to ask for a photo when things turned violent.
I was just shocked because I just watched it happen.
Video shows the fan turned victim being punched several times and falling to the ground. Witnesses say the suspects who punched him then drove off.
I walked over to him and I...
Damn, so you heard that. Does that sound like what Nardo Wick said in his notes app? I really care about my fans, and I was mad that this happened. As a matter of fact, I was the first one to call his mama, and I told her, we gonna get this situation solved. Well, how much you want? 500, 200, 250? Does that sound like what he said in his notes app? Because obviously, from witness testimony and from the news reporting, him and his buddies beat this guy up. And what I'm starting to see now in the video is he didn't pull his buddy off because he cared about this guy. He pulled his buddy off so they can make a clean getaway. I mean, what a piece of shit, right? He didn't pull his buddy off because he cared about this guy. He gave a fuck about this guy. They smoked a blunt in his honor and hoped that they caught a body that night. I'm telling you the mindset of these super gremlins. They smoked a blunt in his honor, hoping that he didn't make it through that hospital run. And the only reason they would hope that he did is so that Nardo Wick wouldn't have to face the consequences of him and his team's action. But Nardo wasn't trying to pull him off. And so, y'all see, I was mad after the video. Who got the full video? Nobody has a full fucking video. Nobody wants to show the rest of the video because it shows how much of a piece of shit you are. Right? It's absolutely ridiculous. You beat the man unconscious and left him there to die.
I sat him up and I was trying to talk to him and he was unconscious, and it was one of the hardest things I've ever been a part of, ever seen.
Connor Villa tells me he drove his unconscious friend to the hospital where doctors say that...
Now, I mean, this is just conflicting with everything that Nardo said. Hold on. I mean, I have to go back to the statement he put out. I can't condone what happened to my fan George after my show in any type of way. I expressed to him and his mama how sorry and concerned I was it happened to him multiple times before anything was even posted or on the internet. So at what time did you do this? Because obviously the family isn't happy with your full of shit apology. Obviously the family's not happy. You didn't provide them any closure. You didn't provide them any levity to what they're going through. You put out a dumbass notes app, an illiterate notes app statement that now I'm even questioning if you actually wrote. I mean, it's ridiculous. I sent his mama my number instantly the night it happened. I was even going to make a post to try to find out what he was or who he was before his mama texted me. So did you send his mama your number, or did his mama text you? Which one? Which one happened first? I can't control another grown man's actions, but you can control your own. So when your crew knocked old George here out, you could have sat him up. You could have got him some water, some ice. You could have talked to him. Hey, man, don't go to sleep. Don't go to sleep. Stay awake, bro. We got the ambulance coming right now. You could have called the police. You didn't do shit. You peeled off in your Lincoln Navigator. Like, dude, this guy doesn't give a fuck about his fans, man. This guy doesn't give a fuck, man. And y'all over here supporting him. These guys don't care about you, man. Stop giving them your money. Stop streaming their fucking shitty music. These guys don't give a damn. Okay? They're out for themselves. And if you get shot at their concert, if you get beat to death at their concert, if you get trampled at their concerts, they're going to wipe their hands with you. Put out a notes app statement on their Instagram and then do a whole bunch of fucking drugs. That's what they're going to do. Because that's who they are. These super gremlins are on demon time.
The victim had a concussion and bleeding to the brain.
To see the video and actually see what they did, you don't wish that on anybody.
Tampa police believe the suspects captured on video hitting the victim are no stranger to the rapper who had just performed at Club Sky.
We believe the artist's entourage actually went and physically attacked the victim.
I reached out to Nardo Wick's manager. He told me the suspects are not the rapper's security guards or directly connected to him, and says, pardon quote, Nardo is furious over what happened. He did not condone or participate in anything that occurred. He took no part in it. As soon as he realized what was happening, he jumped to put a stop to it.
So, did he tell the police who these guys were? I'm sure he knows who they are, at least their street names. Because if he didn't do that, then we don't have anything to talk about.
Now, the victim's family tell me he is still hospitalized but is making progress. Tampa police is still looking to identify the suspects captured in that video. Those suspects could face felony battery charges. Anyone with information or who witnessed the event is asked to contact Tampa police.
What the fuck do y'all mean? Anyone with information or who witnessed the event? Nardo Wick was there. He is I mean, at least a Jacksonville superstar. At least his name's popping in Florida. He was right there. Question him. He knows who did it. What the? What? Anyone who knows anything about the suspect, the nigga he knows them. Those are his guys. Those are his guys, man. What the fuck? And this is what I'm talking about. He's a shit person because he's not letting anybody know who they are. Who are those guys? What are their names? What do they go by? What are their street names? It's absolutely ridiculous. Okay? It's ridiculous, man. Yet, these types of things continue to take place. And I don't understand how these other communities haven't wake up. stop. I've told you guys before, stop going to large gatherings in the community. Period. Do not go to these rap concerts. Do not go to these kickbacks, these parties. They are dangerous.
Ybor City, Annie, map 8 on your side.
So as you can see, no accountability from Nardo Wick. Obviously, he's a piece of shit. He's not coughing up the names of the guys who hit him. There are 2 guys who need to be arrested and charged with attempted murder. And Nardo Wick knows who they are. He knows their names. He knows their street names. He knows everything about them. And he ain't saying shit. Okay? He's not saying anything. So, this is the new normal. This is what your favorite rappers think of their fans. Okay? It just makes no sense. So I hope they sue. I hope they sue the record label he signed to. I hope they sue him personally. I hope those guys who hit George are criminally charged, because this can't be allowed. This type of stuff, it just can't be allowed. We can't stand for this. So the next story I have is a pretty crazy one. It comes from Raleigh, North Carolina. And we're talking about these young kids. We're talking about these schools. We're talking about how violent they are. And, you know, what makes them so violent? Why these kids can't get along? The bullying that goes on in these schools, in particular, the black schools. I've told you guys before, the bullying that goes on in black schools, you can't compare to any other demographic. Ain't no way. Boy, ain't no way. There's literally no way. Okay? And it's crazy because these schools aren't doing much to stop it. It's almost like they're allowing it to happen, enabling it to happen. And there are warnings before, but the schools, they're just overlooking it. They're too worried about the trans indoctrination. They're too worried about getting that CRT curriculum into the schools, and the students and their well-being are being totally left behind.
Yeah, that's right, Steve. Lauren, Delvin's family still didn't want to speak with us on camera today, just given where they are in the grieving process so soon since Delvin died. But they did confirm the 15-year-old's name, as you've already mentioned, and that balloon release scheduled in his honor tomorrow evening is still a go.
Balloon release for the young brother here. This young man was stabbed to death. Stabbed to death at school. I mean, you can't get any worse than that, right? Just when you thought that the schools couldn't get any more dangerous, now you have a young man who was stabbed to death at school after participating in a fight.
Show that photo that Delvin's mother shared with us earlier today of the boy who was killed after being stabbed in that fight in the gym in Southeast Raleigh Magnet High. Classes here at the high school canceled today, as you mentioned, canceled again tomorrow. That's to allow students and staff time to help process the tragedy. The district says those additional resources and counselors are being provided as well. As for the 16-year-old that was also stabbed in that fight yesterday, we have learned he is out of the hospital, continuing to recover. My colleague, Jamise Price, will have that update next here. Meantime, we reached out to Wake County DA Lauren Freeman, who said once probable cause is established, the law mandates that the 14-year-old that's currently in custody would have his murder case tried as an adult. Freeman.
Let's work. Let's work. This is what we need. This is what we need. Try these super teen gremlins on demon time as adults. Punish them with a swift and heavy hand. That is the only cure to this. Because these super gremlins, they don't believe that there are consequences to their actions. As you guys know, I've been speaking on this for a long time. And I've been doing stories like this for, we're creeping up on four years now, almost half a decade. And it's the same thing over and over again. And in the past, on many occasions, these kids are not being punished. But in this case, it looks like, they're going to load it up with this one. So hopefully we can get some real justice. We'll see.
And said a juvenile custody hearing for that suspect did take place today. Delvin's mother told me, meanwhile, off camera, that she does not know the suspect that's been charged in her son's death. She's never seen him before. Obviously, there's still a whole lot to follow here, both on the legal side and with the Wake County public school system. Top of the list, what were those circumstances leading up to this fight? Those details we are still working to nail down here, but obviously it's something we'll continue to follow here in the coming days as we speak with the contacts and family members that we've spoken with over the course of the last 24 hours. We're live in Raleigh. Sean Coffey, ABC 11 Eyewitness News.
Woo! So just sending your kid off to school and he can get stabbed and beaten to death, and you still have people who oppose school choice.
Yesterday at this time, it was breaking news as this was all happening at Southeast Raleigh High School. WRAL has confirmed now through a number of sources the victim is Devin Farrell.
WRAL's Chelsea Donovan has been in touch with friends and family, and she joins us live from Raleigh. Chelsea.
Absolutely. Friends and family tell me that Devin Farrell, the 15-year-old, was the student that was stabbed here at Southeast Raleigh High School. It is a school that today is closed for students due to that tragedy that happened yesterday mid-morning. And speaking with his friends and family, I'm told last night a small group gathered in his neighborhood here in Southeast Raleigh to honor his life through a balloon release. Now let's show you his picture. This is 15-year-old Devin Farrell. Raleigh police say he was stabbed yesterday and died from his injuries here at the school. Another student, a 16-year-old, was also injured and is hospitalized. Now, police say there was a fight involving several students, but they didn't give the exact number involved. Now, video we're showing you taken by students shows multiple perspectives of the fight, which seemed to have started outside the gym and then spilled inside, with students following the fight as it unfolded. Raleigh police have obtained a secure custody order for a 14-year-old juvenile suspect who is also a student here. I just got off the phone with District Attorney Lauren Freeman, who said a juvenile secure custody hearing is taking place today as the teen is accused of murder, and it is her intention, she anticipates, to transfer this case to Superior Court to try that 14-year-old as an adult. Now, last night, WRAL spoke with Sherelle McLaughlin. She is the mother of the student seen in those videos swinging a knife. She tells WRAL News her son was acting in self-defense.
So you heard that. You heard that. The mother is defending her son who killed another kid. He was acting in self-defense. These are the women raising children, the fathers, nowhere to be found most of the time. The fathers are Thug Max Alpha Simps. If you don't understand what a Thug Max Alpha Simp is, I'll explain it to you like this. A Thug Max Alpha Simp is a Thug Maxed black male in the community who is a perceived alpha, okay? Emphasis on perceived alpha. We don't actually believe that he is an alpha, but he is a perceived alpha by black women because he is thug maxed. But in all actuality, he is indeed a simp because he is willing to crash out for these same women who pretty much get these black men to crash out on a day-to-day basis over a lot of times lies, unsubstantiated claims, or very small little skirmishes, and they get these Thug Max Alpha Simp black men to crash out over them because of that's what my baby mama said, or some bullshit like that, right? We see this all the time. Okay, the video that I showed earlier was an example of a son husband, Thug Max Alpha Simp, who his mom got him to crash out at McDonald's and shoot the young man, the teen worker at McDonald's. And that was his second body on paper, at least, that this young man, the second murder that he committed. I mean, these things, you can't make this shit up. But you have these women who are getting impregnated by these Thug Max Alpha Simps. And then the Thug Max Alpha Simp is doing what he do, okay, just dipping off. And then the women are left to raise the children. And boy, there ain't, I'm sorry, but there ain't nothing worse than these modern day single mothers. Nothing worse. These are the worst parents. I mean, in the last couple centuries. The last couple centuries. These are the worst parents, bro. Specifically in the community. That's what I talk about. And these women are defending their children who are murdering people. Her son just murdered somebody, and she said, oh, he was just defending himself. In a fist fight, you bring a knife and you call that defending yourself? God, I mean, what does that say about her? She is a piece of work.
She tells WRAL News her son was acting in self-defense and claimed he was simply concerned about his safety here at the school. Once again, Southeast Raleigh Magnet High School closed today for students. Grief counselors will be available as students return to class later this week. Of course, we'll be following this breaking news story and have updates on WRAL.com and in our later newscasts.
We know you will. Chelsea Donovan reporting live from Southeast Raleigh High School. In less than an hour, the Wake County School Board is expected to talk about security measures. The board already had the discussion planned before the stabbing at Southeast Raleigh High. Board members are reviewing a suggestion to make clear bags mandatory at school sporting events. The intent is to deter people from.
So they're making clear bags mandatory at school sporting events. This wasn't even a sporting event, though. I mean, what about in school in general? And this is how you get the, uniform, clear bags, metal detectors, and then that's when the school starts looking like a prison, and that's when the black women are going to come out and say, oh, well, it's the public school to prison pipeline, and we trying to stop the pipeline. We trying to clog the pipeline. And but the reality is your kids are making the school dangerous. The school has to take up extra security measures. And then now you're complaining because you believe that it's racist to secure the school that your kids are making dangerous. Do I have that right? Do I have that right? Okay. Do I have that right? Because it's a cycle that continues to perpetuate itself. And we're going to look on great schools to see the demographics of this Southeast Raleigh High. But your kids are making the school dangerous. And now you're complaining because you got to wear clear bags. You have to wear a uniform. You can't wear your hair a certain type of way. You can't do all these things, and you're upset. But the only reason these rules were put into place is because every single year your kids make the school like 10, 20, even 30% more dangerous. These super teen gremlins are on demon time.
Bringing guns or other weapons onto school campuses.
More cold air is dropping in.
All right, so we're going to continue getting the details on this story, and I'll show you guys the full fight as well. I do have the full fight. Sorry, there's an ad, a super loud ad. But we're gonna keep digging into this. I do have the Great Schools app pulled up, so in between one of these videos, we'll check that out to see what's really going on at this high school.
And breaking news in the last 15 minutes, school officials announced Southeast Raleigh High School will be closed tomorrow. This comes after a deadly stabbing of a student at the school today. Thank you for joining us. I'm Deborah Morgan.
And I'm Gerald Owens. Sky 5 flew over the school this afternoon. Officials tell us it happened during a fight in the gymnasium. Now a student is dead. Another has non-life-threatening injuries. A third student is in custody.
WRAL is bringing you team coverage tonight. Matt Tallhelm is at the Walnut Creek Amphitheater, where parents are picking up their students. Let's go ahead and start with Mark Boyle in the WRAL Live Center. Mark, we're getting now a better look at the moments just before the stabbing.
This is clear video. It's a different vantage point. Another student had their phone out recording. We're going to play this and then pause it right before this first initial stabbing. You'll see right here, watch the student right there in the red hoodie. And then you'll see another student right there punch. We're going to pause it. Then he comes around with his hand. And then this next clip is going to be inside the gymnasium. All of those students there rush inside. Take a look at this. The melee there continues inside. And then another interaction. The fight continues. And that's, again, where the stabbing continues. We hit pause on the video right there because you can clearly see what is unfolding. At the top of the newscast, I mentioned a statement from the school. Now this is part of it on your screen. It reads in part, both victims were transported to the hospital. The students passed away. The second victim remains hospitalized with non-life-threatening injuries.
God damn. And this is just like a prison. You have a student being stabbed to death in school, like Derek Chauvin just got stabbed almost to death in federal prison in Arizona, I believe. I mean, the schools are not, it's not a prison because, oh, the walls and there ain't no windows. No, the schools are prisons because your kids are as bad as the criminals in the prison.
It goes on to say, to provide us the time and space to process today's events, school will be closed tomorrow at Southeast Raleigh High School. Also new here at 5 o'clock, Josh Stein, Attorney General, saying on social media, I'm praying for the Southeast Raleigh High School community, especially for the loved ones of the student who was killed. It's tragic and devastating. Updates here in the Live Center as we get them on this developing story here tonight. Back to you.
All right, Mark, thank you.
So sad. First day back.
And they love to say, oh, it's tragic. It's tragic. It's devastating. It's so sad. But we're not really addressing the root issues, right? As they like to call it. The root issues are these single mothers are raising horrible children. Black men are leaving the homes and they're leaving these women and their kids to fend for themselves. Now, the argument can be made that the men who are doing this, these Thug Max alpha simps, are a small minority, which, you know, I definitely agree with that. You have these women who are attracted to these Thug Max alpha simps and don't secure commitment before they have a child with these guys. And these guys might have 3, 4, or 5 other baby mamas on the side. And these women continue to still allow them to impregnate them. I mean, you can't make this type of stuff up. But it's pre-selection at work here. So we have a whole bunch of issues. The women in the household, they can't discipline these children or they won't. As you can see, most of the time it's they won't. The woman is copping pleas for her kid here and he stabbed a kid to death. Stabbed another.
Back after a holiday vacation or holiday weekend. Let's go down to Matt Tallhelm. He's at the pickup spot for Southeast Raleigh families, Walnut Creek Amphitheater. Matt, the superintendent called this situation disturbing. No doubt parents feel the same way.
Yeah, Gerald, disturbing, discouraging, terrible. Those are just some of the words that parents used to describe what happened on campus about a mile down the road here. But just in the last 30 minutes, the final police officer left here at Walnut Creek. There were police and security everywhere here because this was a reunification point, a place where parents could come, they could park here and reunite with their students. Dozens of parents rushed here to reunite with those students after these stabbings.
There's little a parent can do but wait when their child's school is in lockdown.
They've been stuck in the cafeteria for the last few hours.
Robin Sinford's child shared this photo with her from inside Southeast Raleigh Magnet High School.
My kid's never not done lockdown practice and active shooter drills. It's awful.
Mom rushed toward the campus after hearing about the fight and stabbing. It was only hours after
And we're back, guys. I apologize for that. As you guys know, YouTube has my number. You know, they will do anything to suppress the kid, Joe. It's crazy. They were trying to take the stream down. But we're back. So I just got to pull up my tabs because I had everything lined up. All right. But we're going to get back into this. This one is, all right, let's see. All right, so we're back. Back, right?
As we light the spark of learning for all the people of North Carolina. All questions are welcome.
All right, let's go back to where we were.
From stab wounds and late last night.
Hold on. Y'all getting sound from this
Student was
video?
also
hospitalized from stab wounds. And late last night, a 14-year-old boy was accused of murder. Video shows the 14-year-old Taekwon General Jr. wildly swinging a knife, striking two students, and then walking away from the fight. His parents tell WREL he had been bullied and was trying to protect himself. District Attorney Lauren Freeman says the teen had a secure custody hearing today.
We then moved forward with scheduling what's known as a probable cause hearing. This is not a full-blown trial, but it is putting enough information before court to establish what happened.
Under state law, 13, 14, and 15-year-olds can be charged with murder and transferred to adult court, which she anticipates.
We continue to evaluate the evidence. Investigators continue to work on this case.
Now, Delvin's family plans to honor him tomorrow night at 5 p.m. with a balloon release in the Heritage Park Apartments. Now, we should mention just a few short hours ago, the Wake County School Board met specifically to talk about school safety. And joining us now to talk more on that aspect is WRAL's Chris Lovingood.
Well, and Chelsea, the school board chair made sure to say at the beginning, the board's hearts and thoughts are with Southeast Raleigh-Magnet High. And after a brief moment of silence, board chair Lindsay McHaffey said that security and safety is the board's top priority. Now, she wouldn't elaborate on whether weapons detection systems or metal detectors are on the table, but did say there are some things the board has to keep confidential for the sake of keeping kids safe. Confidentiality and safety tactics is also something McHaffey says law enforcement has wanted. Now, as for the death of a student, school board member Tara Waters says this is pain every single one on the board is feeling.
The level of grief, heartache, and pain that we are all experiencing is something that is going to take time to mend and come to terms with. But the work that we're going to do today and moving forward will help us to come to a place where we can ensure the safety of our students and our buildings.
Board Chair Mahaffey also noted the district needs more social workers, counselors, and teachers.
Social workers. So, I mean, if they genuinely believe that that is going to solve this issue, they're out of their damn minds. It's ridiculous.
She says this need for more resources is a state and national issue, too. As for the public safety response, join us at 7 o'clock on WREL, when Matt Tallhelm will get that perspective from the head of the Wake County School Resource Officer.
I mean, if it was just that simple to get more more social workers in there, then wouldn't that have already been done? These social workers, I'm telling you, aren't gonna do anything. They're gonna get their ass fucked up. So I want to look at these this great school site, because we want to look at the demographics. Obviously, see what type of school this is. As you can see, South Raleigh High School, it's a 3 out of 10 rating on great schools. That's extremely poor. Test scores below average. Student progress below average. College readiness below average. Equity below average. All right. Students at this school are making less academic progress given where they were last year compared to similar students in the state. Low progress with low test scores means that students are starting at a low point and falling farther behind their peers. So, as you can see, these students are not doing that well. I mean, it's hard to be focused on your studies when you have to be dodging knife attacks. School is below the state average in key measures of college and career readiness. As you can see, the 4-year high school graduation rate is at 80 or 82%, and the average, I guess, is 86. So, I mean, it looks like they're getting them kids up out of there and graduating them. I've seen way lower. The average SAT score is 1039. Not the average, but the average at this school rather is 1039, and then the state average is 1130. SAT participation rate, the state average is 25%, and they have an 18% participation rate. And SAT, ACT, as you can see, 18 is the state average. They're at 16, so below average. ACT, very similar numbers there. Graduates pursuing college or vocational program, 41%. Graduates who return to public 4-year college for a second year, 75%. Graduates who return to public 2-year college for a second year, 49%. Then you have the AP Math course participation rate at state average is 4%. They're at 3%. AP Science. Okay. Now, let's see. Let's see how they're breaking these demographics down. All right, there we go. So student demographics, 57% Black, 31% Hispanic, 7% white, 3% 2 or more races, 1% Asian or Pacific Islander. You can see the rest here. Pretty much not a factor. But this is a black school. This is a majority black school. You can see the violence that's going on. And it's very sad, right? It's very sad that we have to address this almost every week, what's going on in these schools. But this is a representation of what these young men and women are growing up to be. Okay? It's not good at all. And these kids are they're in an impossible position, especially if they're going to school to try and learn, and they're trying to do the right thing. All right. But as you guys can see, it's hard to do the right thing when you're around all of the wrong people. And that's where a lot of our youth find themselves in a situation where they're trying to do the right thing and they're around the wrong people. Okay. So this is not a new phenomenon in the community. This is something that has been happening for a long time. The only difference is nobody was shot in this case. Okay? Nobody was shot in this case. In this situation, it was just the knife play. Okay? And This is how a lot of these kids are getting down, man. A lot of them are being taught the violence at home, becoming more violent, and I'm telling you guys, it's not going to end well for the community if we don't get a hold on this, right? That's the main thing we need to be focused on. How can we end situations like this? How can we stop them before they even start? But I don't really think the community is worried about that. As you heard from the mother, she said, well, my kid was acting in self-defense, so it's all right. Okay? But now you have this child who is going to, not only do you have Delvin Farrell, who is dead, but you have another child injured, and then you have this 14-year-old who was waving the knife maniacally. He's going to jail for the rest of his juvenile life. Okay? So this is how these things are panning out. And all his mom has to say, oh, he was defending himself. She doesn't care. That's one less mouth to feed. You know, if she knew this stuff was happening at the school, I think she would have done something to try and stop it if she was a good mother, but you can't even expect that nowadays from a lot of these people. They're just not good individuals, bruh. That's just what it comes down to. And I swear they will try and act like they're just like the most wholesome person. Like you can't tell them nothing. Oh my God. I mean, it gets wild. It gets wild. The justification in the community is crazy. But let's get into this.
Accused of killing another teenager during a fight on Monday.
Another student got hurt as a result of the incident that spilled into the gym. Tonight, CBS 17's Maggie Newland joins us live as she's learning more about the student who died and the impact on those involved. Maggie.
Liz and Angela, Southeast Raleigh High School was closed today while family, friends, and fellow students grieved.
Flowers and a handwritten note sit beside the flagpole at Southeast Raleigh High School, a day after two students were stabbed during a fight in the school gym. Family members say Delvin Farrell, a 15-year-old who loved sports, came to school here Monday morning and never came home. Cell phone video shows the fight that led up to the stabbing. Although this video doesn't clearly show what happened in the school hallway, you see a student with a white t-shirt under a red hoodie. Other videos posted online, taken from a different angle, show someone who appears to be that student wearing a white t-shirt and red hoodie being punched in the face by another student. As the fight spills into the gym, a red hoodie lies on the floor, and a student in a white t-shirt is seen with a shiny object in his hand, jabbing another student repeatedly. Police say one student died, another was injured, and a 14-year-old is charged with murder. Delvin Farrell's grandmother, who asked us not to show her grandson's photo, says what happened here is a tragedy for everyone, and she says her family holds no ill will toward the family of the student accused.
And the family tells me there will be a balloon release tomorrow at 5 o'clock near the family's home. We are told,
you know, and what happened to going to get a teacher, you know, staying in the teacher's office during after school. You know, back in the day, there were ways to avoid these fights and these situations. You know, somebody want to fight you, and then, you know, it's you can go to an administrator. As you guys can see, nothing was really done to prevent this fight. You see a horde of students going into the gym, and I didn't see any adults.
by police that the student who was injured is expected to recover. We're live near Southeast Raleigh High School. Maggie Newland, CBS 17 News.
All right, Maggie, thank you.
So what we're going to do now is we're going to watch the full fight. Because fuck it. All right, YouTube already messing with your boy. Might as well go. So as you guys can see, the fight starts off with these two. Now, there is a teacher right here. It looks like he's an administrator. He has some type of keychain on. Can you hear me, guys? Somebody said no sound. It looks like everything's good on my end. So I'm going to keep going. But like I said, as you guys can see, you got this kid here in the red hoodie. Then you got a kid in the black. And you have an administrator back here, and you got some people watching up here. So it looks like it was during school hours. Shout out to Reese from Philly with the $2 Cash App. He says, wow.
Oh, say less.
Yeah, man, it is getting wild, especially once you see this full video here. But yeah, let's get into it. So you hear what the women are saying. Well, they're not women, they're teenage girls. Stand on business, stand on business. I told you guys these, it's been like that since high school. The girls love the thug maxed alpha simps. They're cheering the fight on, saying stand on business. Then after the fight's done, they're going to be crying, talking about, oh, you have to kill him. But you're over here instigating, telling them to stand on business. She's saying, get active, and the first punch was thrown. So there you have it. So they're saying they're jumping him, they're jumping him. So you hear them, they're laughing. I mean, and that's one of the worst parts about this situation with the youth. They're not afraid that their school is dangerous. They're not scared that, they might get stabbed in the altercation or hit in the altercation. They're enjoying this. They're relishing in the moment. I'm telling you, these kids, they're different. They're not good kids. Okay? So a lot of people like, oh man, they're just kids. No, bro. This is a different breed of super gremlin on demon time. So you heard, oh, they finna shoot that bitch up. So it's all fun and games. It's all fun and games until somebody gets stabbed. Somebody said who stabbed who. Yeah, let's look at the video a little closer. No sound this time. So as you guys can see, the fight starts here. Crowds gather. Horrible cameraman. So the first punch pops off right here. Boom. So the kid in the red is the one who got punched. He is the perceived victim. He is the perceived person who did the stabbing. And I believe that is the 14-year-old who we're talking about who committed this murder. So let's see. Boom. You got him. He tried. Oh, so he immediately starts stabbing. You see that? He didn't even try to fight. He has his hand in his pocket. He allowed him to get the first punch in. These are not regular punches, as you guys can see. So he did get teed off on first. Okay. But his response, ooh, do you see that? Do y'all see what I'm seeing? This kid, he didn't try to punch back. His hand is on his weapon right now. This kid's an idiot for not looking down and being aware of his surroundings. But he was ready to get his Thug Max Alpha Simp street cred. Oh, man. So as you guys can see, Kid in the red is the one with the knife. And he gets knocked up out of his hoodie, and he ends up coming out with a white t-shirt. This guy has a puffer jacket and a hoodie on. So he throws the first punch. Boom. And you see the knife right here. It's hard to see. It's hard to tell. Let me boost the screen up. But you see the knife coming out right here. Boom. Stabbed him once. Boom. Stabbed him twice. And then he backs off. Shout out to KJ, K. Johnstone, for the $2 PayPal.
Oh, say less.
Your contribution is greatly appreciated and will not be forgotten. So let's keep going. Boom. So he has the knife. You could see the knife easily right there. So where's the kid? Okay, he comes up out the red hoodie right now. So you see him. He's backing up. He's backing up. He's backing up. The guy who got stabbed is still coming for him. He doesn't even know that he's stabbed yet. His adrenaline's rushing. The red hoodie comes off. And now looks like they're jumping him. So you got 1, 2, 3, 4 guys on him. They're well, 3 guys, I guess. Then you have other people. Oh, somebody came in, got a kick in. So you had some guys, boom, stomping them, stomping them, stomping them, stomping them. Looks like he might have stabbed another person there. Picked him up. He's picking him up. He's stabbing him in the ass. You seen that? Ooh, that was a nasty stab in the ass. And he's stabbing him in the leg. Stabbing other people. He's holding on to that knife. He stabbed this guy. Boom, stabbed him again. Then he runs because he knows that he got out of it. I mean, they did jump him, I will say. And now he leaves everybody leaking. Everybody's like, how the hell am I bleeding? They don't even know they got stabbed. This is what I'll say. The kid was defending himself. That is true. However, to bring a knife to school and you know, catch a body, it's not, you can't justify it. It's a tough situation though. But the question really is, okay, how did this start? How did y'all start beefing? What is going on here? Why are y'all fighting? Who's the instigator? Who started what? I mean, there's so many questions here, but I will say though, he knew exactly what he wanted to do. From the moment this fight started off, he knew exactly what he wanted to do. This guy's, I mean, you have to understand how quickly these fights are happening. This fight happened so fast that the guy who started the fight didn't know that he was stabbed until the kid just runs off. So let's watch it one more time, and we will identify the blade in his hand. As you guys can hear the stand on business in slow motion. Let's see. Looks like he turned his head before the punch. Yeah, he did turn his head before the punch. So that punch didn't get, look, so he did turn his head before the punch. The punch didn't get him that much. Boom. Woo. That stab to the back once. Boom. Twice in the same spot. Shit. He got twice in the same spot. Bow. Oof. Bow. Oof. Holy shit. He says if he hadn't started out stabbing, maybe, but he never threw a punch just instantly brought out the knife. Yeah. And that's where, I mean, you shouldn't have a knife at school in the first place. So here you go. He's being chased down. The hoodie comes off. And they're jumping him. Now, what I will say, though, the knife is the great equalizer to getting jumped. As you can see, they came and stomping on him. And it looked like he kind of knew he was going to get jumped. So he came out stabbing. And maybe he thought stabbing them would have deterred them. But they're not even realizing they're getting stabbed. Even you have this girl fighting him too. They're not realizing they're getting stabbed until he's stabbing them. I mean, this is a tough one right here, because he is wrong for bringing a knife to school, but at the same time, they're wrong for jumping him, and it's a super unfair fight. I don't feel bad for the kid who got killed, honestly. And I don't feel bad for the other kid who got stabbed. Damn. That was wild, though. And these are high school kids, man. 15, 16, 14. Yeah, I mean, he would have had to pull that knife out a lot later for it to be kind of justified. But even then, you have a knife at school. So, man, this I'm not gonna lie, it is a tough one, because he was defending himself, but he should not have had the knife. And obviously, when you get into these types of situations, it's just, you can't excuse it. So everybody learned a lesson in this situation. You have one young man who was killed, one young man who was stabbed, and another young man who is potentially losing the rest of his freedom or his life, which honestly, I don't think that he'll lose his freedom, because after watching the video and going over all this stuff, honestly, I think he might get away with this. I genuinely believe that he will get away with this. The court systems, they've changed substantially. They're not as stringent on black kids. Let's just keep it a buck. Even though people want to say, oh, we get this and we get that and we get railroaded. I mean, maybe in the 60s and 70s, but nowadays these dudes are getting slaps on the wrist, and it's evident by the revolving door in the criminal justice system. So, he might get off with this one. I'm not going to lie. He might get off with this one. Will I be mad that he gets off? I mean, he killed a kid, so I mean, I'm not going to lose sleep over it, but shit, I mean, it's a tough one. I want to ask you guys what y'all think. Okay? I want to ask you guys what y'all think. Do you think this was a justified stabbing? Ooh. Do you think it's a justified stabbing? I'm going to put a poll up, and y'all let me know. All right. And it's just going to be a simple yes or no. Was this a justified stabbing? This is what I will say. Those kids, if they had the chance, they would have killed him. I'm not putting it past those kids that they would have killed him, because I believe that he believes that they would have killed him. And a lot of these kids, like I've said before, stated before, that they are just plain evil. So y'all saw the video. Let me know what y'all think in the poll.
There'll be no classes today at Southeast Raleigh High School. Students, staff, and families will be taking the time to process an unthinkable incident. There, a stabbing that happened less than 24 hours ago. One student is dead. Another is in the hospital. A third is charged with murder. WRAL's Kelsey Coffey is live outside the school this morning. Kelsey, school leaders are offering resources to students who feel they need support after what happened there.
Jeff, grief counseling will be available for students here at Southeast Raleigh High School after that tragic day. Take a look at this video that was sent to WRAL of the incident. It shows dozens of students in a hallway. You can see one student throwing a punch. We're stopping the video before the student in the red hoodie pulls out a knife. The fight then spills into the gym where more students get involved. We pause the video again when the student in the red hoodie starts swinging the knife. Sherelle McLaughlin says it was her 14-year-old son who had the knife. He's now charged with murder. She claims he was bullied at school before this incident.
And I called the school and I informed them of that morning because I told them that something may happen. I don't know.
So there you have it. That was Ma Duke speaking on it, and I want to get more of her take. So I'm going to try and find this clip of when they interviewed her to get the full interview. But, I mean, look, I don't think he should have had a knife at school. I really don't. But, damn, I honestly, I ain't seen no knife work like that except on The Wire or on Oz or... I mean, that was superb knife work. I mean, a lot of times when you're fighting with a knife, you drop the knife. Maybe somebody gets you a good punch in and they punch you so hard, you drop the knife. He held on to that knife the whole fucking time. Look, man, I'm not mad at him for defending himself, and I don't feel bad for the kid who was killed. And his mom is making a good point. She let the school know he was being bullied. At this point, it's like that was the last resort. I would like to know the extent of the bullying. I would like to know how much he was involved in the bullying. If he had provoked it or if he was participating in the op culture. Because a lot of times they'll say, oh, my son was bullied. But the reality is they're just participating in the op culture. So, this one is tough.
And we're working to find out the names of the student who was killed and the student who was injured. And coming up in the next half hour, you'll hear from a mother of a student who goes here, and she says she's afraid to send her daughter to school. Kelsey Coffey, WRAL News, live in Raleigh.
Well, she just better make sure that her daughter wasn't one of the ones who was chasing down the fight and shit, right? Because you got some of these people, they chasing down the fight. They trying to be a part of it. They think it's cute. Let's keep it a buck. But let's see if I can find it. I'm looking for the interview with the mother, the full interview. So we'll try and find that. In the meantime, we'll pull up another video covering this story. But this one is a tricky one, man, because the kid was defending himself. Obviously, the knife at school can't be justified. But hey, man, if you are going to jump a kid at school and bullying him and whatever, you're getting what comes back to you. I'll say that much.
School. Raleigh right now. Southeast Raleigh Magnet High School on lockdown after a reported stabbing.
Tamara Scott is live outside of the school. She's been gathering details there since this lockdown went into place. So, Tamara, we know that police are just held a press conference a few minutes ago.
Yeah, we just got an update from police, and we're told that a total of 2 students were stabbed here at the school early this morning. Around 11 o'clock is when the school resource officer gave out a call that a student had been stabbed. And when they got there and upon investigation, they found another student with stab wounds. So that first student was transported with serious injuries. And we also got video of another student being transported earlier this morning. They both went with their sirens on and with a police escort. Now, officers and detectives say that this all started with a fight that happened with multiple students involved. At this point, they don't have a suspect in custody. They are following every lead that they are getting. So earlier, about a half hour ago, I told you that we saw multiple police cars leaving the school here and speeding off in another direction. We're told that that was part of following a lead that they are getting. So this is still under investigation at this point. The school remains on a code red lockdown at this point. They're asking parents to not come to the school. If you would like to pick your child up, you have to go to the Walnut Creek Amphitheater in parking lot D and wait there for further instructions if you would like to pick up your student once this lockdown is lifted. But at this point, they're still investigating. There's still a heavy police presence here at the school. They're following every lead, and we're expected to get another update in just about another hour. Back to you.
Okay, top of the hour. RPD was calling this a serious assault. Now at 12:30, Tamara Scott reporting 2 students stabbed, injured, transported to local hospitals. The lockdown continues.
And they're following some leads.
Man, these schools are ridiculous. But I could do these stories all day. I got another one that I'll probably premiere tomorrow. Not premiere, but I'll go live on it. It's going to be a deep one.
The parking lot of a concert venue became a waiting room for parents while their children were in lockdown on campus a mile away.
They've been stuck in the cafeteria for the last few hours.
That's where Robin Sinford's child spent most of the school day after the stabbings in the gym at Southeast Raleigh Magnet High School.
Raleigh's fairly safe. We don't usually have stuff like this happen. So when it does, it's just a huge shock.
Sinford waited in her car at Walnut Creek Amphitheater until buses rolled in to reunite families with their students.
We had a nice talk on the ride to school this morning, and all I could think driving back here is like, what if that's the last time I talk to my kid?
That fear is something many of these parents faced as they rushed toward the school. Their cars crowded a neighborhood across the street with a view of the campus.
I wanted to be around. I couldn't sit down nowhere.
Dwayne Bunderberg texted with his daughter, who just started her freshman year at Southeast Raleigh.
I would give her a nice little hug, but let her know, she's all right. She's all right. And then we're going to work on what we got to do next.
That next for his family may mean a new school for his daughter.
She's stressed out. She's about ready to leave the school. And I can get her frustration because this is not normal.
The new superintendent of Wake County Public Schools says schools should be a safe haven, and he's promising transparency in this investigation.
The aftermath of today's tragedy, we will review all of our safety processes and protocols to determine what happened, what changes may need to be made.
Matt Tallhelm, WRAL News, Raleigh.
There you have it, man. I'm trying to find the full interview with the mother, but WRAL, they being stingy with it. What the hell? Yeah, but I mean, this is a regular thing in the community. Let's see. This is a regular thing in the community. But honestly, that one is pretty difficult to judge because the kid was getting jumped. Man. But that just goes to show, man. Y'all got to stop putting your hands on people. Y'all think y'all could just punch and beat people up and shit like that. Not everybody's going for that shit. And if you're fighting a weaker kid, he's going to use a weapon. Obviously, parents do not want their kids going to this school. It's very dangerous. And it looks like they're begging for metal detectors. Wow. Let me show this video. Even though in some liberal cities, they say metal detectors are racist and you're turning our schools into prisons, and now they're begging for metal detectors. Damn, it's insane. You cannot make this shit up. You can't make this shit up, man.
And that deadly stabbing at Southeast Raleigh High is once again raising the discussion about school security in Wake County.
For more than a year, WRAL Investigates has tracked high-tech security measures in local school systems, but not Wake County. Sarah Kruger is here with an update. Sarah?
Gerald, in these school districts in our area, students are screened when they walk through the doors. Wake County, as you will see, is not among them. District leaders haven't publicly expressed much interest in the technology. Some students I spoke with hope that will change.
The state's second largest school district, Charlotte-Mecklenburg, was the first in the state to install AI weapons detectors from a company called Evolve.
On the first day of implementation, a firearm was found through the Evolve system on the very first day.
The system started with just high schools and quickly noted the impact. Before Evolve, 31 students were caught with firearms. After the installation, that number dropped to 7.
Damn.
The cost to equip Charlotte's 180 schools, $19 million over 4 years. That amounts to about $125 per student.
I mean, that shit worked. It definitely got the firearms out of those schools. So these things work. And I mean, simple, common sense measures.
That cost worth it to you?
Yes, so we don't have like unnecessary deaths like that.
I say yes for being able to prevent people's lives from being lost. I say yeah, that's definitely worth it.
In our area, 6 counties, including 3 that share a border with Wake, Granville, Nash, and Johnston, are using detectors. In Person County, since rolling out in the spring, 0 weapons have been found.
We do know that it is a deterrent because of the weapon system being in place and signage that we have up.
Johnston County has 2 weapons detectors for each of its 48 schools. The total cost, $6 million. Based on size, it could cost Wake about 4 times that, roughly $24 million.
Do you think something like what happened yesterday could happen at your school?
Absolutely, anytime. A gun, anything.
Wake County students I spoke with say, while the detectors will not solve everything, they'd be a good start.
Just having nothing is just not good enough.
In the past, Wake County leaders have pointed to a 2021 safety assessment they had done by a third-party company. It did not recommend weapons detectors. Gerald.
Sarah Kruger in our studio. Thank you, Sarah.
So a security company didn't recommend weapons detectors. I mean, that's fucking crazy. What woke ass third party company did they hire? It's fucking ridiculous.
This video you're about to see is disturbing and it is shocking. Students capturing the melee that appears to start in the hallway here and then spills into the gymnasium. Now, police have not identified the victims involved or the student in custody right now, but you can hear the screams. It is so awful. Southeast Raleigh Magnet High School, we should tell you, is closed tomorrow. And WRAL's team coverage begins with Aaron Thomas, who's joining us now after talking to family members of those involved. Aaron?
Yeah, Lena, this is such a tragic story for all involved. Just within the past 15 minutes, a memorial just started here at the flagpole in front of Southeast Raleigh High School. A woman actually wanted to show this gesture for this school community that's dealing with so much pain. We have made several attempts to reach out to the victim's family. We are still waiting to hear back at this point. But the mother of that 14-year-old boy who's charged with murder by juvenile petition, she says this is a horrible tragedy, but her son was simply defending himself after dealing with bullying at this high school.
Stand on bees! Get out!
There's a student being punched outside the gym. Then chaos spills inside of it, with the conflict turning deadly.
It's terrible. The whole situation is terrible.
Sherelle McLaughlin says it's her son in the red hoodie accused of stabbing 2 students with what appears to be a knife. We've stopped the video at the point where the stabbing occurs.
Did you have any idea that your son was carrying a knife in the first place?
Not at all. Not at all. Not at all. And I do not believe he took the knife into school. I believe that he got it from somebody in school because he did not go to school with it.
McLaughlin claims her
I mean, how would she know that?
14-year-old son experienced bullying at the school.
This is why I warned the school early this morning to try to prevent any of this from happening.
I don't feel safe sending my daughter to school.
We spoke with another mother whose child attends Southeast Raleigh High and reportedly knew the victims involved. She wanted to protect her identity out of fears of retaliation.
The young man, I don't feel like he should have had to go that route to protect himself, to bring a knife to school. And for the other young man, I don't feel like he should have had to lose his life behind the situation.
I mean, that's a
And again,
non-answer.
We do want to stress that I, along with several of my colleagues, have made numerous attempts by phone as well as online trying to speak with the victim's family. We are still waiting to hear back from them at this point. All classes and after-school activities are canceled here at Southeast Raleigh tomorrow.
All right, guys. That's pretty much it that I got for you today. We will... Oh, man, the story I'm going to do tomorrow, I might give y'all a little sneak peek on it. But my computer is acting up, so seems like YouTube wants me to get off stream. But the next story that I got for you guys, the Joe Henderson story. Gunned down, killed on Black Friday. The CEO of Henderson Ford has a family. He's a 3-time girl dad. One son. Guys, we are going to break this down tomorrow. Elon Musk actually commented on this story. So stay tuned for tomorrow. Tomorrow's going to be a knockout show. We're going to talk about Joe Henderson. Again, another cross-racial murder. I'm telling you guys, these cross-racial murders, they're adding up, and they are going to come and bite the community in the ass, man. If we don't get a hold on this now, it's going to be hell to pay later. I do believe we have 2-3 more decades of this, but by then, I mean, the numbers are just going to rack up significantly, and there is going to be a breaking point. We have to stop this now. That's why you have to share my channel. That's why you have to support the channel. That's why you have to, keep BGZM News 17 in your mouth. Pause. Okay. But tell people about it. All right. Share the channel. Let people know what Jen Quavius is doing on this side of YouTube and how YouTube doesn't want this message to get out there. So anyways, with that being said, we are going to go ahead and send it to Jen Quavius to take us away. But you already know what it is. It's the Black Gen Z Mindset, aka BGZM News 17, aka Jen Quavius Jackson. I appreciate you guys for joining the stream. Make sure you be safe. Make sure you protect yourselves against all harm, because these super gremlins are on demon time. What's good, Shadow Realm? It's your boy Jen Quavius Jackson, and y'all already know I'm demonetized and shadow banned in this bitch. So if you
Gang violence and other kind of violence.
So it is what it is.